What's up, my friend? What's good? Welcome to another video. If we haven't met yet, my name is Ted and I talk bass and other things. Somebody's got to come up with a better slogan for me. Leave it in the comments. But yeah, I mostly talk bass. I used to mostly talk bass, but I talk a bunch of stuff. And today is one of those times. Look, if you are new to the channel, do the YouTube thing. Do the YouTube thing. That means hit the subscribe button. The like button helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you don't, I'm coming to your house. I'm not really coming to your house, but I just wanted to say that because it makes me feel like a tough guy. Look, I wanted to make a quick little video about the stigma of having a straight gig or a day job as a musician. Now, I think I need to clean off my glasses, man. I just got back from Alabama. I did a gig in Alabama yesterday with one of my favorite bands to play with, Chawa. It was an outdoor gig and pretty fun, although it was like all hell no degrees outside and I couldn't feel my fingers. So yeah, anyway, the stigma of having a day job as a musician. Look, I've played professionally most of my adult life, and there have been seasons where being a bass player and solely a bass player was all I did, right? And there's a sense of pride, a sense of like accomplishment when you've done that, when you're able to do that, when you can sustain yourself and or your family solely on gigs. But then there were also times, quite honestly, where, yeah, that's all I did, but I was also behind on my bills. I didn't have any health insurance and things like that. This is not as important when you're, teens, late teens, early 20s even. When you get in your 30s and your 40s and stuff like that, and you're not able to handle your business, that's not really a good look, okay? So don't be ashamed if you have to have a day gig. What I suggest and what I did is that, I tried to find things that were in the arts, right? So I was always and that even meant being a pre-K through 4 music teacher, right? And forget about the stuff about those who can't teach. First of all, teaching in and of itself is a completely different skill, right? No matter what level you're teaching or who you're teaching or what you're teaching, teaching in and of itself is a completely different skill. And if the saying is, if those who can't teach, then there could be the saying, those who teach pay their bills on time. Ooh, that was a little bit of a burn. I don't mean I'm being funny, but look, if you gotta work a straight gig, work the straight gig. If we didn't learn anything from COVID, is that if you're playing at a church or if you're playing, corporate gigs or anything like that, that could be over like that. And it was. When I moved back to New Orleans, on top of my full-time salary, I was making probably a full-time salary also, a really good part-time salary just playing gigs on Frenchman and Bourbon Street, right? And I'm talking about in the slow months. Let's not, in New Orleans, we got October through Mardi Gras, where things are busy, people are tipsy, all of that stuff. And we're talking 200 and up a night, 4 to 6 nights a week. So, but that stopped like that. It was over like that. Done. And, some of the dopest musicians I know, when this thing went on longer than 2 weeks, we're like, well, what do I do now? And it's not a knock on them. And some of them, many of them had skills in other areas and were able to move, navigate into other things. And that's what we have to do to survive, right? There's no shame in doing what you have to do to earn an honest living. And, you could ask any of your musician friends from the greatest to the least what COVID has done to them. And I'm not talking about guys that have, residual income from royalties or, TV placements or anything like that. I'm talking about the regular blue collar bass player who is what my channel has sort of been designed for. I'm talking about all those guys who are just playing. And so your job is dependent on people in the church, people in the club, the artists that you're playing with, touring and things like that, right? So these days, I think it's safe to say that the days of the millionaire bass player are long gone. They've been gone for a long, long time. So, find things to do. That's part of what I try to do with my students is, let them, I'm talking about my students on the middle school level is say, hey, look, there are all these different avenues within the entertainment industry. You don't necessarily have to be the person on stage. And even if there is a season of your life where you are the person on stage, that season may and probably will come to an end at some point, whether by your choosing or by factors that you can't control, right? The bills still come. You still have to eat and take care of yourself, take care of your family and things like that. So, I don't mean to come off preachy, right? I don't mean to come off preachy, but I say, my advice, if you will, is to find different things within the arts that you can do. Explore all sorts of different things. One of my good homies I was in a band with, we wrote some great songs together, all this. I mean, he's an artist at heart, right? And he's dope on stage. He's a dope writer and all that. But he makes a living doing other stuff, running a label, being a tour manager and things like that. And so, explore other options. It's always good to have, different irons in the fire and diversify. In the arts, we kind of have to do that anyway, right? So there's my little spiel for today. Hope I didn't come off too preachy. I don't mean to do that. I want to do that as a source of encouragement for somebody that, you can make a living in the arts, right? In the arts. I still make a living in the arts. I do not gig as much, right? Well, I barely gig at all these days since COVID happened, but I'm still able to make a living in the field that I love, doing what I love. It's modified, yes, but I love it. And I also feel like I'm planting seeds into another generation of young musicians, and not just musicians, but A&R people, videographers, editors, publicists, you know what I'm saying? Social media managers and all those different things. So, take it for what it is. Have fun. If you love the arts and you love the field of entertainment, explore as much as you can. Explore as much as you can. It doesn't mean that you're less of a bass player, less of a keyboard player, less of anything. It only means that you realize that you have to eat. And boy, I'm going to tell you, I say this not to, because I know a lot of people don't have it, but being able, having health insurance, if you can get it, is such a blessing. So I take nothing for granted. I'm so thankful. I'm thankful that you watched this video. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you come back. So hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. If you don't, I'm coming to your house. I'm not really coming to your house, but I really think I'm funny, and I want to say that. And I'm in one of those moods today. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. 2 fingers.